This is the lunch table, food for thought. I'm Nico. Blitz. Hit that subscribe button. You already know where to go. Shout out to my next guest. It's currently October, but he goes by the name of December. What's good, bro?
Yo, what's the deal, man? How you doing?
Yo, man. I have this theory, right?
Okay.
You know how hip-hop has been the biggest genre in the world for, like, the 2010s?
Mm-hmm.
My theory is that the 2020s is going to be R&B. Like, R&B is going to be that genre that everyone's going to be like, this is the best thing out right now.
I'm waiting for it, bro. I sure hope so.
I think it's going to happen, bro. Like, you know, between yourself, between Twee, Daniel Caesar, Ella May, like, all of you are, like, kind of on the end of, like, the 2010s.
Yeah,
so I'm looking at 2020 like, yo, like
boom,
this shit's popping off.
Yep.
And on top of that, everybody is sampling 2000s R&B in their shit right now.
Yeah, a lot of that's going on right now.
Yeah.
It's dope, though, because it's like, okay, you know, you've been used to a lot of the older, the 90s, 80s, 70s getting sampled, but now it's like, okay, a lot of the stuff that I grew up on is getting more sampled and whatnot, you know what I mean? So it's real cool to see. And,
Who'd you grow up on, bro? Because I know you're from L.A., but you have R&B just in you.
Yeah. And I get that from my dad and my grandpa, too, by the way. But,
Old souls.
Old souls, yeah. I grew up on a lot of, like, Jodeci, Casey and JoJo, Boys to Men,
Sheesh.
Jagged Edge, that type of stuff.
I feel like you're the type of person that would know, like, the album cuts.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, not
Not
just
the
the
hits?
singles. Yeah, not just the singles. Yeah, I can't say I know everybody's, but yeah, the ones that I really, yeah, for sure. Because you know there's, for me, it's like I like to look past just the singles because a lot of the times I connect with songs that aren't, you know, the top songs or whatnot. So I mean, you know, you got to give a album its full go, and you know what I mean. But yeah,
Who would you say is your king and also your queen of R&B?
From my generation, for sure, Chris Brown. As far as entertainment wise and just full package. If I had to choose one, just not even just in my generation, I'll probably say Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm sure, man. That's kind of leaning towards pop, just a little.
Yeah,
bit.
that is
Just a
King
little
of Pop.
bit.
Yeah, he did. He had a more, you know, he was. Of course, he was worldwide, so that's you're kind of touching all bases with the genres and shit. Yeah, I'll give him pop. And as far as female, man,
honestly, like, and I mean this in, I want to say this in the most like courteous way possible. Like, I think as of right now, it's really just like Ella May.
Yeah.
There's also like her too. Shout out to her.
Her's going crazy.
Killing
Summer
it.
Walker just had
Summer
a crazy album.
You know, she said some crazy shit
She
about
said
LA,
some-
but you know, she still makes some dope ass music.
She still does. Yeah, you know, just gonna take that on the chin.
Yeah.
But I mean, Beyonce's always Beyonce. Like I listened to a lot of her growing up. Other than that, yeah, there weren't really too many female artists that
Not
really
too
influenced
much,
me.
man.
Yeah, you know,
Because I'll tell you this. I went to the, God, what was that tour called? The one with B2K, the Millennium Tour, right? So I went to the Millennium Tour, and then you look at the lineup, it was B2K, Chingy, Yin Yang Twins was fucking dope, Bobby V, Mario. Am I missing anybody?
no,
I feel like that was everybody, right? But then you look at the lineup, I'm just like, oh, Pretty Ricky.
okay,
And then I'm looking at the lineup, and I'm just like, where are the females from this generation?
Facts, bro. There really wasn't too many.
Yeah.
I feel like in that generation, you had more of your one-hit wonder artists as far as females. But nobody that really made a huge impact on like the complete culture like those bands or groups or solo artists did. So that's why I feel like there weren't a lot of females
Back in like the 2000s.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, then of course you always had like, you know, your Mary J. Blige's and
That's true.
you know, getting away from R&B, your Missy Elliott and whatnot.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of females
there
doing
were a
it.
lot of like prominent females in music in general. But you know, I think now, especially seeing this resurgence of R&B, we're getting like the Hers and the Ella Mays, and I gotta give a shout out to like Twee and the homegirl Kazia
for
too,
sure,
man. You know what I mean?
Going
like
crazy.
R&B is just going crazy
It's
right
going
now.
crazy,
So we're
and I love
gonna,
it.
you know, we're just gonna say 2020 and forward, R&B is gonna be the greatest genre in the world right now.
I'm here for all that. Man.
You know, I'm surprised. Like, did you get into like the LA music scene? Like between like the NWAs and like the Dr. Dre's.
Oh yeah, for sure. I was definitely a little more late on it. I would say I kind of I've always been on R&B, but as far as that goes, it took me some more time. Like as I got older, I kind of started like dipping and dabbing into that and doing my research on stuff like that. But yeah, like big Eazy-E fan, like you said, NWA. Back, you know, I was a big Game fan. Yeah. Back right when he first signed to G Unit. Yep, yeah, that Game. My shit. Big 50 Cent. Tupac, of course.
Okay.
I was a big Tupac, more than Notorious. I'm a team Tupac.
No comment.
He
can rap circles, bro.
That's true.
Tupac can make you feel it, but Biggie can rap circles.
And that's one thing I had to talk with my uncle about that. And he asked me the same question, and I told him, you know, honestly, Tupac, you know. But he said if he had to choose, he would say the same thing. But he said Biggie, just like you said, he would wrap circles around anybody. Yeah. He said he was a lyricist. Like his lyrics was just too powerful to pass up, you know, and you know, but I mean, of course, all respect given. Like Biggie was an amazing artist.
Both of them were phenomenal.
Both of them, yeah.
So you know, like having so much culture between like hip hop, like why did you decide to go the R&B route?
Honestly, I did start off just strictly rapping.
Oh shit! Yeah, were you still going by December?
Nah, I was going through my little phases.
Going by November.
That's funny. No, actually, it's funny. When I was in 7th grade, I was in a rap group. It was like me and 4 of my other homeboys, and we were the Transformers. So we each had like our own little rap name, but then we had also had a character from the Transformers, and we were one of those characters. And this was back when I was maybe like 6th grade.
So were you like the Optimus Prime?
You know, I wasn't. I was kind of like one of the last ones to get in the group. So all the good all the good characters was taken. So
you're like what? Bumblebee? Because Bumblebee's like the who are you?
Bumblebee's like right under there. Honestly,
do you even remember?
Yeah, I was
like such a long time ago.
I think it was a Decepticon though, but Ravage. I think he was like see, he's not even really that.
Sheesh.
Yeah, see, just that.
He went from Ravage to December.
Yeah, see, and I never really, you know, advertised myself as that. I was like, you know what, I don't even really know who this dude is. I'm just, so I had, you know, I went through my little phases. December, I ultimately landed upon maybe like my last year of high school.
Okay.
And I was really like, I had kind of taken a break from the music and was trying to just figure out where I was going with it and what I wanted to do, not only with music, but with myself. You know what I mean? Yeah. That transition period out of high school. And, I mean, there was just a number of things for December, you know, being my birthday.
What day exactly?
The 16th of December.
Oh, that's really
yeah.
Bro, I think that's exactly my homeboy's birthday.
For real?
I want to say. Or it's the 17th.
Wow, bruh.
My bad,
Sagittarius.
That's tight. Okay.
Yeah.
So December. What else? What else leads to December without the vowels? If I might add.
Yeah. Right. December without the E's. That's what I tell everybody. The winter time. Like that's my favorite time of the year. I love the energy that it gives off. That togetherness. That feeling of love. Mm-hmm. That whole energy. And I feel like that's what a lot of R&B carries, or what it should carry. So it kind of like correlates. You know what I mean, with the time of the year and me and my music and what I try to put in my music and what I try to be or who I try to be as a person.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I got that from.
Well, December's like, it's like simp season.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Best time of the year.
Best time of the year, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, for sure, bro. So, I mean, all that stuff ties in together.
That's dope.
Yeah,
so then, you know, so earlier you said you were dabbling into the rapping, and then once high school hit, or the end of your high school career,
towards the end of my high school career,
you were like, okay, I'm gonna be December. But like, did you have plans of like going to college afterwards, or?
Definitely, yeah. So I had moved out to San Diego after high school for like the summer. One of my homeboys. The plan was to stay out there, transfer to San Diego State after a while. But things were just kind of moving slow for me over there. You know, I wasn't liking how I was progressing, or I just felt like I was either staying stagnant or kind of like falling below. And I'm the type of person, I like movement. I like moving forward. I like being on the go, you know what I mean? Like doing something to progress. And I wasn't getting that out there. So I came back out here. And then I enrolled in the LA Film School in Hollywood.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and I did half of that. And through there, I met a lot of good people, a lot of good connections. They give you a laptop. They give you Pro Tools. They give you all that type of stuff to where you be able to work on your own.
Yo, what the hell?
Yeah, so...
Can I enroll?
Yeah, bro, yes, you can.
I need an extra laptop. Bro, I just want Pro Tools, too.
Bro, I want to enroll again just for that, bro.
Yeah, that's tight.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And, like, all of the staff are, like, you know, industry people or past industry people. Yeah. So they have a lot of knowledge to share.
So I'm assuming that you kind of wanted to dabble into like getting into film initially, then like after.
Well, so they have different branches. They have music production, recording arts, which is like the engineering. Mm-hmm. They have the film. They have video game, and then they have entertainment business. I believe they've added some branches since I left, but I went for the audio engineer, so the recording arts, and basically that was just for my own knowledge to be able to. Get my sound better, like when I'm recording myself and whatnot.
Smart man.
Yeah, bro. And like I said, I learned the basics. They gave me all the tools that I needed, and I met a lot of good people too. Yeah. So it's definitely a good tool outside of all the knowledge that they give you, but just to meet and talk to people, because you never know who can take you to where.
Who was somebody that you felt like took you under their wing, like you kind of saw as a mentor when you were at school?
I had a good friend of mine. His name was RJ.
Okay.
I was
not RJ, Mr. LA.
Oh, nah, definitely not. I don't even think he was Mr. LA back then. But
do you know something we don't know?
No. I just don't think he had hit like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my bro, he was 24. I was 19. And he was fresh out the military, and we were in the same class for the recording arts. And it was just one random day. He just asked if anybody had any music, and I was like, yeah, bro, you know I do music. He was like, you mind playing me some? Got in my car, started playing some music. He was like, bro, you remind me of myself when I was your age. Like you were like the coldest, you know, that I've heard or anywhere. And I've been out here for almost a good year now, and so. The next day I went over to his house, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with the producer out here. His name is Jeremy J.
No, I'm not familiar.
He produced one of OT Genesis's first hits called Touchdown back maybe a few years ago.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So at the time, RJ, he was their roommate. And so like my first month of class, I just was able to meet, you know, that dude and all those type of people, and then he would bring me into other situations with other people and different connections that he was making on his own. He would always keep me, like, a part of it. But, you know, as time goes on, you know, stuff happens and, you know, relationships, they kind of, you know, fall out and whatever, you know. We're still cool, though. But he did set me up, and he really helped me out a lot, so.
Oh, I thought you said he set me up. And I was like, wait, he set you up?
No. Not at all.
But you know, it's kind of just like the motions of the industry. I think DJ had always said something like, "You're either useful or you're useless."
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then once you guys reach that point in your relationship, to where you know it was working before, but we need to grow apart from each other now. Like it just seems like one of those things.
That's what it was.
I'm not getting any negative vibes from you or anything.
Nah, you know, I'm a real cool, go with the flow, laid back type person. But when I feel like something is just getting too much for me, or not even just that, but just like to where it's just I don't want to say out of control, but just trying to get me out of my element of that cool, calm, and collective type of living. That's when I'm kind of like take a step back. You know what I mean?
It kind of sounds like you wanted to do like the R&B shit, and they probably wanted you to go on with like a little bit more, just something different. That's what it kind of sounds like.
Honestly, it was just a lot going. I was around people where it was just too much on one's plate. trying to balance and try to do, and I'm like, okay, we're supposed to be focused on this, but you want to go out and do this, and this.
Got you.
Like, this is the main goal, and then we start on the main goal, then we get off track, do this, and then get off track of that, do that, and I'm just like.
So then, what do you end up doing after your work with him? Do you kind of just go on and venture and do your own projects by yourself, or do you?
Yeah, that's really what it came down to. It was a lot of it was a point of, because a lot of the people that I had met up to that point were people that he had introduced me to, or I had met with him. So it was really at a point of, okay, I know, I have a lot of good connections and whatnot, but it's just, I don't want people to think that I'm stepping on nobody's toes, or I'm trying to forget about this. I'm here now. You know what I mean? It was just a thing of, if you ever have anything going on, or if you ever looking for this or that, or if you got anything, beats, blah, 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 whatever, let me know, bro. And a good thing about it was, a lot of the people that I did meet with, bro, they mess with me genuinely. Yeah. So it wasn't nothing to me forcing. It's actually they wanted to work. So that made it all better. So it really was never a hassle. And it was no love, no love lost, no burn bridges. I'll never turn around and talk down on somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's just where life had gotten for me.
I feel you, man. Speaking of those connections, man, I don't know if you remember, but then that night we were talking at Twee's listening party, right? I had told you when I'm low-key drunk, I'm like, bruh, your name has been popping off everywhere. I just don't know where I know you from. Yeah, so I'm texting my homegirl Ange, right? Okay. And then she was like, wait, December was there? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, dude, he performed at our little show that we did, and C5 brought him out. Yeah. And I was like, wait, that was him? He was fucking fire. I just didn't know that was him.
That's right. That's right.
Because I was drunk as shit that night too. But I was looking at both of y'all, and I was just like, damn, these motherfuckers are lit right now.
I was wearing that big ass coat, and it was hot as hell, boy. I was sweating.
It was hot as shit.
It was hot. But yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that.
So it was that moment, right? Which I was like, yo, that's kind of mind blowing. Yeah. But then she also said, he was also featured on Redemption, right? I'm like, Jay Rock's album? Yeah. She's like, bro, listen to the last track. And I was like, what the fuck? This shit is over there too. So I'm over here. I'm looking through YouTube. You could type up December on YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. This fool has not one, but 2 tracks with Jay Rock and Mozzy. Yep. He probably has 3 songs in total with Mozzy. Yep. With Too Short and T.O. on a song, if I might add, too. And just a solo joint with you and Mozzy. And I'm just like, what the hell? And how did all of this is a very loaded question, but how did all of that cultivate? I could only imagine, I don't know. You got to tell me this story, bro.
Okay, so basically, I was working with this one production group out of L.A., long story short, that fell through. Mm-hmm. Then Mozzy's manager, Davo, he kind of swooped in and was like, yo, bro, I've been following you, for a minute. I didn't really want to make no moves or whatever just because, you know what I'm saying? I respect the bros. I just wanted them to be able to, get done with what they were doing with you, see how that played out. And it didn't play out. Mm-hmm. But so we got in the studio maybe a week later. That same week, I recorded probably all 3 of those songs, Afraid, Excuse Me, and the Nobody Knows.
Damn.
Yeah, so those, maybe not within the same week, but for sure the same month. And that was all maybe summer 2017, I believe. And then it got closer to the time to where, so Afraid already came out. We shot the video for that.
Multi-million views, by the way.
Bro, yeah, it's going crazy still, bro, still. And so the next one to come out was, I think Nobody Knows, the first one with Jay Rock.
I think it was Nobody Knows.
And that one was just a loose one because Mozzy was getting ready to drop an EP, so they just wanted to let that one go. And they ended up putting it on the EP anyway. And then maybe 2-3 months later, the EP came out with Excuse Me. And last minute, he was like, bro, Too Short is going crazy over this song. He was like, bro, send me an open verse. I'll get on it tonight. He said, bruh did it in one day, and he sent me back 2 different versions, a radio edited version and just the original one. He was like, bro always likes to record 2 different versions, one for radio and one for just...
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, and he said he's been doing that for forever. And I was like, damn, that's dope. That's really cool. And of course, I already knew T.O. was on it because it was Mozzy and T.O. joint project. But I didn't know that Too Short was going on it until the last minute. So maybe like a few days before it dropped, we got Too Short's verse back. I was like, yo, bro, this is crazy. Yeah. Because it's like a vintage Too Short verse. Like, it's like...
Bro.
That's like
it
Too
sounded
Short.
Like some vintage-ass strippers type shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bruh.
He even threw the ad-lib and all that, bro. I was like, oh, yeah.
You must have been juiced.
Bro, I was like, this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. And you know, I had heard different things. Like, Meek Mill was supposed to do a remix of the Afraid joint. Mm-hmm. But he ended up, that's right before he got locked up.
Gotcha.
So that never fell through and all that. And but yeah, bro, all that stuff. I'm just like, and then the Jay Rock one on Redemption, that one was also recorded around the same time. He was like, yo, bro, they're working on this song. I'm actually going to be in studio with Jay Rock. Mm-hmm. You know, you could come through and just chill. And, you know, so I came through and chilled. And I didn't do anything that day. But the next time I came back, it was just me and Davo. And I had recorded the hook for that Redemption. And then maybe a year later, bro, I was like, yeah, bro.
A year later?
About months for sure. Like, more than 6 months it had to be. But he was like, yeah, bro, they for sure want that one for his album. And then it didn't make the album, so I was like, all right, it must not be, you know what I'm saying? But then maybe like a month later, they're about to drop the deluxe. They want you to know how it sounds. They're throwing it on there. I'm like, boom. All right,
yo, that's crazy.
So I was able to go back in the studio with Davo and Jay Rock, and I was in there with Ali, mixed by Ali. So I was like,
sheesh.
Man, this is just surreal right now.
I want to know, man, what was that session like with just you and Ali?
So it was a mixing session. So they was just playing back different tracks and whatnot. But man, I was just like, yo, this is the rooms that I'm trying to be in, bro. This is legendary stuff. You know what I mean? Like, just chopping it up, just regular. And of course, he didn't know that it was me. Like when I first walked in the room and I was on the hook, and Davo was like, yo, bro, yeah, that's him. He was like, that's you? And I was like, yeah. He was like, bro, this is fire. He was like, bro, I had fun mixing this record. I was like, oh, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So like, and you know, I've met him apart from that, but that was even before I really like hit the scene. So it was kind of just full circle. Like I've talked to you small talk before, but now I'm actually like working with you.
Did you ever tell him that like, yeah, you know, I've met you before?
Nah, I didn't. I just let that.
That would have been funny though.
Yeah,
bro.
That's just personal, recollection and shit. But this is dope.
It's really cool because it just seems like the way you're moving about this industry is just all based off connections, bro. I mean, obviously, you got the voice and you got the jams and shit, but it's like being in rooms with TDE and Mozzy, like basically the gatekeepers of like West Coast hip hop, bro. And what I appreciate about you too is that it just doesn't seem like you flex that, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, nah.
Like, and I say that to say that like, it's not like the features with Jay Rock or Mozzy or Short or Young T.O. that make you.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're an equal part of these records
for sure,
just as they are.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I definitely. Sometimes I ask myself, why aren't I like that? You know what I mean? A little more edgier and whatnot. And I definitely could get that way, but I just don't even like carrying that energy around. I don't like the thought of people having something like that to say when I'm not present. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely just try to be as genuine as possible. And I mean, it's not hard because if you're already a genuine person, that's how you're going to come off, or that's how you should come off. You know what I mean? So I definitely just try to keep a balance as good as possible, man. Not never too high, never too low. I don't like getting my hopes up and then crash. And I'd rather stay level and just ready for whatever, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, I also credit that to, like I said, my grandfather and my dad, the ones who did it before me.
So they were into music too.
Yeah. So that's really where I got the singing from was them, and they toured around the world and all type of things. But they've always been the same people, And my grandfather, he always stressed that to me, like I see in you like a lot, for your life, but just remember who you are, where you came from, and don't get distracted by all that, because it can happen. So so
was your grandfather in a band, or was he just solo?
Yeah, so he was in a group. He did a lot of stuff with different people. He toured like 60s and 70s, and started from the church. He's the
of
OG.
Course.
Yeah, he's the OG for real, man. So he taught me a lot. He taught me a lot when I was younger, and a lot of stuff that I'm able to hold on to now and pass on to my homeboys that's doing the music, or just for my own knowledge, you know what I mean? When I sometimes ask myself, like, whoa, what would he do? You know what I mean? And try to form my answers with what I saw him do or what he told me. So he really helped me out a lot, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to your grandpa,
yeah,
man.
Most definitely.
Is that like the one piece of advice that really sticks with you? Just like don't get distracted by all the accolades and everything happening around you?
Yeah, definitely. And kind of like to kind of spin off from that, kind of stay on the same vibe, but kind of spin off of it is you don't have to prove to anybody that you belong. You don't have to do anything just to make yourself feel like you're here now. You know what I mean? Like he's like, you just all this other stuff that all these people are doing and everything, nothing has changed. He's basically telling me, people been doing this stuff, people been doing that stuff. It's like what defines you is you staying true to yourself and just knowing that, okay, I don't have to be like these people, you know what I mean? Yes. To prove that, this is where I belong. And so I feel like I've been doing that so far, so good.
So I think your humbleness very much transpires because when we were doing the event for Twee's Bet song, right? She was like, yo, download December song right now. And I was like, all right, cool. I downloaded the shit. But as soon as I played it, everybody was looking at me like, yo, who's this? And I'm like, bro, that's him. That's him. Because I was playing this shit like, yo, this shit's fucking hard.
Oh, man. Thank you, bro.
For full disclosure, this song is not out, right?
It's not out. Next Friday. Next
Friday. So I got to drop this shit by next Friday, basically.
What's the ahead of the game?
What's the record called, bro?
It's called Figure Out. Figure Out. Yeah, it's produced by my boy Reese Beats. He actually produced Excuse Me. Okay. So off of that, me and bro built a pretty good relationship, and we get to work in a lot.
So we're gonna talk like the song is already out and people have already listened to the shit, right?
All good.
What is Figure Out about exactly?
Honestly, I really don't write. Like, I really don't sit down and be like, all right, I'm gonna write this song real quick. Like, I mean, there are times where I can, but a lot of other times I'm just sitting in front of the mic and whatever flows. But he had like a piece of a sample. Yeah. So where I say figure out in the song, there's like a soundbite in the bag, like figure out, and I was like, run with it.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, okay, that's pretty dope. So got a man, he trying to figure out, what is he trying to figure out? He's trying to figure out something. Who are you with when you're not with me? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing when I'm not in the city? You know what I'm saying? Who are you, blah, blah, blah. But me, I'm kind of playing the bad guy. Like, okay, you with me and you got a man, but he's trying to figure out like what you got going. So I'm saying like, you the shit, like you perfect, you worth it. Like I'm doing all this shit because I vibe with you. And I wanna show the world that I do it. Like, I want everyone to know. You the shit I want everyone to know. But I don't say shit. I can't say anything. So they're continuing to trying to figure out. So it's nothing that I'm going through.
Yeah.
Nothing that I'm going through. But I know for a fact there are a lot of people in the world, including some of my homeboys, that have gone through or go through that or are going through it. So, know.
Well, that's why I think the beauty of music is, like, you can create a song and it doesn't necessarily have to, I guess, translate with what you're currently going through in life. Yeah. Like, sometimes you could just, like, pull from, like, a past experience.
Exactly.
Or you can just look at one of your homeboys and be like, man, my bro's going through that shit. I'm going to just write about that type of shit. And I think that shows the capabilities of a songwriter
Most definitely.
You hold.
Most definitely. Yeah. I mean, and it helps though, having people around you that, I mean, we all have our own personal lives. We all have our own shit that we go through and whatever. But to have those outside influences and whatever, to where you're looking at the, at whatever they got going, and it's just like, bruh, it sticks in your head. Not that you want to talk about them or anything like that. You know what I mean? But just that the forming the art, it's just a very helpful. You know what I'm saying? When trying to keep your ideas new and fresh and whatnot. So yeah, most definitely. Well,
shit, shout out to December, man. Man, this was like a very compact, concise conversation, and I think we got like a lot of gems out of this shit,
definitely,
man. Before we step out, man, I'm just going to ask you like a stream of like maybe 2-3 questions. Okay. You're just going to answer it right off the bat, man.
Okay, for sure,
So obviously, this is the lunch table, so what's your favorite food?
Very picky. I would have to say, yeah, it's tough.
Can you confirm? Very?
Yeah. I would say just like a nice bowl of some red sauce penne pasta, bro. Like, you can't go around with some good old carbs, man. You know what I'm saying? I told you I'm picky. It's simple. You know what I'm saying? I'm a simple man.
Okay. Dream. Let's just put it out to existence, and I want to exclude like Drake.
Okay.
Dream collaboration.
Dead or alive?
Alive.
Dream collaboration alive. Probably. I would usually say Chris Brown, but I used him earlier in here, so I'm gonna veer off from that. I'm gonna say Jhené Aiko.
Ooh.
Yeah. I think that would be so fire, bro. Jhené, if you hear this some way, somehow, have my people talk to your people. I'm ready.
You know what I mean? And because he said it here, I get my 10%.
Oh, yeah, you didn't say we're speaking it into existence. So if it happens, I credit it to this interview right here. No matter how it happens, I'm going to be like, you know what?
Shout out to the lunch table, man. Just give me a shout out in the beginning. I'll be cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy because, have you heard Jhené on the My Type remix?
Yes.
Bro.
My goodness.
Like, how do you go from Sativa, right? How do you go from Sativa to
like in
I like that BBC. I'm like,
what? I said, wow.
Yo, Janae's wilding right now.
She went in her, she came out the closet with that one. Hey, no, bro, have you seen? I saw it on Twitter, but she was doing a makeup tutorial on YouTube, and she was whispering, and it was the most fire thing that I had seen. Just her, bro. I gotta send it to you, bro.
Well, she has just like a very welcoming voice, and everybody's into the ASMR.
Yes,
shit.
But oh my gosh, bro, it was too hard to watch, bro. It was that amazing. I'm gonna have to send it to you, bro. That's fire. Yeah.
So you got the song "Figure Out."
Yep.
Dropping on Friday. I don't know. Whenever you watch this, it's probably already out. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Dropping or it's already dropped. So whatever y'all prefer. It's somewhere out there.
Is that attached to a project, or is it just one of those loosies that you're letting fly for the fall going into winter?
So I'm definitely working on a few projects. A few EPs, a few 5-6 track, whatever, and then a bigger project for maybe like springtime 2020. But this one, I'm definitely forming around that one for one of my EPs. So I don't have too many details on it just yet, but I'm trying to get it going within the month. So definitely, yeah. And followed up by a visual as well.
There we go. Yo, yeah. I'm just saying, man, as soon as those hi-hats hit, I'm just like, ooh.
Bruh, it's something else, bruh. It's something else.
I'm so excited for R&B.
Oh, bro.
I'm so excited.
It's so great, bro.
How many snowflakes do you have on your wrist, bro?
Oh man, not a lot, bro. Just so I have,
a couple.
I have one on the inside, one on the outside. Then I have like 3 small ones on the insides of each of those, just like filling them up. So
okay.
But I definitely plan on like as I go up with my arm, any like space, I'll just fill it in with a little snowflake.
Who's that on your
This
forearm?
is actually my grandpa.
Shout out to Grandpa,
Yeah, shout out to Grandpa, man. Shout out to Grandpa. Rest in peace, man. May he rest in peace, bro.
Well, he's living vicariously through
most
you, man,
definitely,
and your music,
bro.
Man. Shout out to Gramps.
Definitely.
December, thank you for stopping by the lunch table, man. Where can everybody find you, bro?
So Instagram and Twitter, same DCMBR official. DCMBR official. If you ever forget, December no vowels, December without the E's. YouTube is DCMBR time, like watch time,
Gotcha.
December time, and be on the lookout for new singles, new videos, subscribe and all that. And yeah, man, thank you for having me, bro.
You already know what you're saying, man. You know how to plug your shit. This is the lunch table, food for thought. I'm Nico. Blitz, December.
Yeah.
We're out, everybody. Yeah.
Gone.